Hello everyone and welcome back to my walkthrough of Dark Souls 3 Ashes of Ariandel DLC. Before I progress, I want to rest at the bonfire. I'm going to need as many resources as I can have. So firstly, there are some more followers to take out, which I will try to do by surprise, and unfortunately my weapon wasn't long enough to take out both of them at the same time, but it's fine. Anyway, there are quite a few more of them to take out, which, well, I will try to do. Now this might be tough because some of them, the guys with torches, can alert other enemies, which, well, it just happened. Okay, whoa. Chill, you guys. Dude, you have a wooden shield, it has no right to block that well. No right. No right. It has the left. Alright, this guy dropped his boots. There's also some prison stones next to this tree. And another follower with a torch that I'm going to take out. Take out this guy first, and then deal with you. You cheeky bugger, how dare you. Alright, this one dropped a large titanite shard for me, so that's pretty sweet. Now, before I continue on, I'm going to hug the left side over here. There's another enemy to deal with, and, well, that's pretty much it. Alright. I hear some other enemies, but I cannot get to them yet. I need to progress a little bit further first. Now, over there is an item, and over there is also an item. I'm going to pick up both of them. But first, I want to take out all unaware enemies. So, anyway, if you... How did I miss you? Right, if you go from the bonfire, you can turn slightly right, which will lead you towards this this big bell. And firstly, I'm going to hug the right side to take out this enemy, which was guarding a titanite chunk next to that tree. I'm also going to take out this projectile throwing enemy. I don't want to deal with it. Now, this bell, well, it's kind of funny, because Sir Wilhelm, back at the chapel, said that no bell tolls, and yet an Ashen one has slipped into the painting. Well, it's because the bell has been taken down. They don't want Ashen one to arrive at the painting, but I still did. Right, I heard the shriek, which would imply that all of the enemies are now after me. Okay, firstly I'll deal with you. This guy dropped his gloves, so, well, lucky RNG for me. I already have the whole set without even having to farm it. Right, you, that's enough. That is enough from you. And another pair of follower boots. Now, to the left over here, there's one of the two items I mentioned I would pick up. This is a follower shield. So now I can cosplay a follower with all the armor, the shield and the javelin. But I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with my current setup. Right. You need to stop it, whatever you're doing. Now after you get to this point, so past the bell, a little bit forward and then to the right, you can go over here and get absolutely whooped by this guy. Just for fun. Just for fun. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that you can go over here and unlock a shortcut by kicking down this tree. It's, I guess, a nice change from the kicking down ladders and sending down elevators. Which, this by the way, brings us back to the building. And we can also access a new part of this area. If we turn to the left over here, we can get at a higher elevation that wasn't accessible prior. There's also a couple of guys with javelins. Let me deal with them. Alright, that wasn't so bad. And there's another Titanite chunk. Now we can also drop to... well, I'm not really sure why you would drop. Well, actually, over here there are some enemies that I can take out. There's one. And then there's another right here. This weapon of mine, this sword, it's very useful. Right, so now I'm going to go make use of the shortcut that I just unlocked. So in here, up here, and across this tree. Alright, now from here you can progress onward, or you can go to an optional area with quite nice rewards. I'm going to do the latter. So if you go over here, here's another patch of snow that collapses and you fall. And there's some ground shaking, as well as some enemies to deal with. Now the added difficulty here is that you have to watch your surroundings while taking care of these guys. Alright, that's one out of the way, a large Titanite shard. Now there should be another enemy right here. I'm glad he didn't decide to join the fight. Right, a backstab, which also allowed me to iframe through the shaking ground. And a failed backstab, which unfortunately locked me in an animation and could have cost me dearly. But anyway, this guy drops a large Titanite shard, and now I can deal with the source of the tremors, which is this guy right here. And it's the Chieftain of those knights. And he packs quite a punch. Right, I will bait out the ground tremors by standing far away. Hopefully. The guy doesn't seem interested to do that. Right. Then I guess I'll do this either? No, instead. Alright. This guy also dropped a large Titanite shard, cool. Now the items down here, we can find a soul of a crestfallen knight near one wall. another soul of a crestfallen knight near the other wall. Next to the tree there's also a large soul of a crestfallen knight. And in this cave where the chieftain was, we can find another item, the Earth Seeker, which is the chieftain's weapon. Alright, to get out of here, by the way you can already see another tree, another possible shortcut, which I will get to somewhat soon. But first I need to get out of here, and to do that I need to follow this path, and then to the left over here, and this is back where the first tree was. Alright, now to progress, instead of going over here and dropping, you go a bit to the left and then forward, which is where you once again find some wolves. And it's also a good idea to not exhaust your stamina like I just did. Now before I go up, over here you can find a couple large titanite shards, another wolf that almost bit me, and at the end of this path you find also a follower torch and a follower with a torch. Yay! Alright, now over here, if we take a right instead of left, there's another wolf trying to surprise us, which managed to get a jump on me, and some more wolves to deal with. They're running down from this mountain. Right, that's enough. Now over here you could say it's kind of a vantage point of the area down there. Other than that there's nothing really interesting here, no items of note. And up here, before I go forward, if you turn left over here, this is where you can find another one of these knights. Now I don't believe I need to say this, but red eyes means more dangerous. So I should be careful and possibly not take too much damage. That would be ideal. Alright, and after clearing this guy out we can get access to a Quakestone hammer, which is the weapon that he and many other knights were using. Right, moving on, and the path forward, there are some more knights. There's one with a bow and one with I poked him. One with uh-oh. Well, that was a bit scary. Thank goodness I had Silver Cat Ring. The guy was one hit away from being defeated, and unfortunately I didn't manage to get it. But I will do that now, so no worries, it's fine. That is also the good part about utility rings such as Silver Cat Ring. While they don't help you in a fight per se, they can help you survive the environment, which often is the downfall of many players. Now actually, since this guy was being cheeky, I'm going to be cheeky as well and miss. I thought he had less health. I guess the Ethereal Oak Shield also works for him. Anyway, this guy dropped a Titanite chunk. I believe I can get behind this guy and perform a backstab, which I managed to do, luckily. Also So charge the attack, and before he realizes it, he is down. And another large Titanite shard, and 2 more large Titanite shards, and this is also where we get to the second tree, which by the way leads over here. So after you come back from the second tree, you don't take the first one right, you instead take the second path to the right, the one that goes slightly up, and this is how you can make your way back here much faster and without having to deal with nearly as many enemies. And this is where we arrive, well, here. There are some flies to take care of, which I will do with my crossbow, or maybe not. Anyway, in this area I am also going to equip a torch, similarly to the Cathedral of the Deep. It will be useful if I mess up a little bit. Right, over here there's a cheeky bugger trying to ambush you while you pick up some dung pie. Yay. Since I'm on this side, I'm also going to take care of these guys. Why not? And now if you go over here and get to the other side, you can, and you should, go over here through this doorway and up the stairs, which, by the way, connects to the Ariandel chapel. Hey, Friede.
Be forewarned, eager Ash. Should this world wither and rot, even then would Ariandel remain our home. Leave us be, Ashen One. Sweep all thought of us from thy mind, as thy kind always have.
No, I am not yet done. I'm going to rest to replenish my Estus. I'm going to need quite a bit of it. Right, and time to descend down here to the land of the flies and check for the secrets they are holding. Right, so boom. That was pretty sweet, as my set was a bit too slow, so I unfortunately got caught with that attack, and once again the maggots that I advise having a torch for. I'll also take out these guys, and I'll try to take out the ones here. I guess the only one there. Anyway, I guess I can clear out these two once again. Some extra souls. And this one is actually not aggressive. It is instead looking at this wall, not without a reason, as this is an illusory wall, which is how we can get down here without dropping and taking fall damage. And there's many more flies here. I aim to take out all of them, even though they might bite me. They probably will. Hopefully not, but they probably will. Some will bite me, some will slap me, some will try to spit at me, others will try to infect me with larvae, with maggots. Like this bugger that aimed too high, luckily. Right, time to clear out the pests. Alright, one of them dropped human pine resin, which I don't believe I'm going to need. My weapon is strong enough as it is. I don't believe I need some dark damage. Right, another one dropped human pine resin, and in this corner we can find the armor of Sir Wilhelm. Aside from that, there's also this contraption where you can turn the handle, which does something. So this is actually similar to the painted world of Dark Souls 1. So if you played that game before, then this will seem familiar to you. The turning the handle, statue rotating, and a secret path, or a path forward.
As ashes will be, ever seeking fire.
Right, and that unlocks a little bit more in the Ariandel chapel. In the middle of this area there's also a blood gem, just in case you wanted one. And a couple more flies. And, well, guess what? Another illusory wall right here. And behind it we can find a crystal lizard. And another crystal lizard. That was embarrassing, oh my goodness. Right, and both of the crystal lizards drop twinkling titanite each. Now we once again arrive at the branches, except these ones don't connect to the ones from the previous part. These are separate and lead elsewhere. And once again I advise some sort of fall protection, or if you don't have it, then at least take off your equipment to not be nearly as heavy. Alright, I will try to carefully drop. I don't want to drop too far, as that would be, well, certain death. And this, by the way, is above the Champion's Gravetender arena. You can even see the bonfire all the way down there. And this is actually how we get to this building that was in the middle of the area, the upper floor of it, where we can find a Pyromancer's Parting Flame and 2 Homeward Bones. And also, if we are embered, this is where we are invaded by Livid Pyromancer Donald. Alright, you got a couple good hits on me. Now look at mine. Goodbye, you're out. And after Donald is defeated, we get Floating Chaos Pyromancy. And now you could drop from here, but the fall is too high, you would just die. You instead need to use a Coiled Sword Fragment, Homeward Bone, worst case scenario a Dark Sign. Right, so back to Ariandel Chapel, and now the way down deeper into the chapel is opened. And Friede, what have you to say about it?
Leave us be, Ashen One. Sweep all thought of us from thy mind, as thy kind always have.
Anyway, we find a summon sign for Slave Knight Gale, but he doesn't appear right now, right here. He will be summoned later at a separate location, as it said. And we can descend down here.
Friede, what stops thine ears? Please, my flail, right away.
Now, before I talk to this guy, I am going to switch my equipment a little bit. So firstly, I think I would like to have a hornet ring. This will be rather useful. Secondly, is there anything else that I would like to have? Frostbite ring should be quite nice. Right, and I think that would be it for the rings. And now this is probably not something that you will be able to do in your playthrough, because it's based on RNG, but I want to switch to Silver Knight leggings, gauntlets and armor if I can. Well, I could, but that will put me at over 70%, so I will need to put away, for example, the arbalest. Right, now I'm wearing nice shiny silver armor. And hello, man, what's up?
Bring Friede to me, please. Canst thou not see the flame flickering once again? Soon will it surge. I can see it, feel it.
Fret not, Father. We have no need of thy flail. 'Tis only the flame quivering at misguided ash. Please avert thine eyes. I will snuff out these ashes for good.
Well, Friede is very much not happy that we were curious and found this little basement of hers. Now, Friede is rather quick and agile. And now, by the way, this move is something that you need to be careful of. When she disappears like that, you need to watch the snow, which then, I guess, hints at where she goes. So if the snow goes to the right, then she goes to the left. There she is. If the snow goes to the left, then she goes to the right. And if the snow just goes up, straight up, then she actually jumps behind you. And while it's a nice opening to get a hit in, if you fail to do that, if you fail to interrupt her, oh, be prepared for some pain. Right, so Friede turns out was no match for my greatsword. Oh, don't worry, it's just that time of the month. She's fine. She's fine. And by the way, yes, you did see that correctly. This guy was chained to the chair. And now he's broken free. As ashes will be, ever seeking fire. Well, Friede is also one of ash, and this is kind of like an ember for her. And now we have to deal with two of them at the same time. However, despite there being two of them, the health bar is still one. Now in this phase, Friede usually stands back and just throws the, I guess, the trail of ice that then explodes. You don't want to be standing on it. And Father Ariandel is usually the one that tries to hit you at melee range with this giant bowl of very, very steaming hot soup. However, when he takes a breath like that and you're far away, he will actually start breathing fire. Now, and Friede decided to come near me and attack me in melee range for a change. And this is again similar to Vort's Frost Breath. And also this is one of the bosses that can heal itself. Whenever Friede is channeling the heal, you want to interrupt her. Now, it doesn't matter whether you attack Friede or Father Ariandel, the damage to the health bar is still the same. And once again, Father Ariandel is another one of the enemies that you can perform a critical hit after relentlessly attacking. And after defeating them, we get a Titanite slab. And an after party with a Black Flame Friede. Now this is her final form, but let me tell you, it's not exactly easy. See, like I said, if the snow goes up, she jumps behind you. If the snow goes to the left, she goes to the right. And what you can also do with Friede is you can get her from behind. You can perform a backstab, similarly to how you could with Abyss Watchers. and how you could also do with Champion's Grave Tender. Now, I will say this right now, Sister Friede is my favorite boss of Dark Souls 3. It's just this graceful style, a beautiful symphony of ice, fire and darkness. It's absolutely gorgeous, plus the soundtrack, especially in the first phase, it's so, I guess, how do you put it? It's not exactly a lullaby, but it gives you a kind of false sense of security. I'm not sure. Now, when her scythe shines like that, it's actually a grab attack, and I might just let myself get caught by it just to show it. It's a pretty one. Sure, it's painful, but it looks amazing. Alright, so once again, let's see where she goes. There she is, hello. And let me get a backstab. Or not, let me just bonk her. Now when she does this, or the ice one, you can also roll forward to get behind her when she lands, and that's another window where you can get a backstab. Also, if you're lucky or skilled, you can get a backstab after the failed grab attack. And after defeating her, finally we get her soul, a bonfire, and this place is finally burning, which is what a few NPCs wanted. One of them we can find up here, up the ladder. And this is this young lady.
I can hear the fire crackle, and soon I will see it. My thanks, Ashen One. I will finish the painting of a cold, dark, and very gentle place, so that it might make a home for someone someday. My thanks, Ashen One. I will of a cold, so that it...
Right, that is one NPC that is thankful for us setting the fire to this rotting world. Now another NPC that will be happy to hear it, we can... well, we've already met at Corvian Settlement. In the first building, so right here, and he's no longer sitting in that little chair, he's instead out here admiring the totally burning chapel.
Oh, my, thank you. I can hear the crackling from here, the sound of my home, the painting of Ariandel burning away. When the world rots, we set it afire for the sake of the next world. It's the one thing we do right, unlike those fools on the outside.
Alright, so as thanks from this guy we get another Titanite slab, the third one in the DLC, the third and the last one. Now I will once again return to Ariandel Chapel. And I will once again climb the ladder and talk to the painter to the young lady.
My thanks, Ashen One. I can almost see the flame. Soon, Uncle Gale will bring me the pigment. I wonder if he has found it. The dark soul of man.
And this line hints at the second DLC, which, by the way, we can already access from this very room. At the back wall we can find a bonfire that doesn't, I guess, that isn't lit so that we can rest at it. It instead will bring us to the drag heap. But first I'm going to return to the shrine bonfire and show a couple of things. Firstly, Champion's Grave Tender didn't provide a soul to transpose, but Sister Friede did, and we can use it to get her Great Scythe or a Rose of Ariandel. And the ashes that I got, Captain's Ashes,
Gracious let, I only...
it then unlocks, where is it? Over here, the Millwood Great Arrows. It also unlocks the Millwood Knight set, and right, I forgot to mention, Nameless King's armor can also be purchased, and Gundir's armor can also be purchased after defeating the respective bosses. And after defeating Sister Friede, we can also get her hood, dress and trousers. So I believe that will be pretty much it for the first DLC. The next episode I'm going to take on the second, the more vast and more difficult DLC, the Ringed City. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.